Hey guys, it's Jane, back with another video for, this will be for my August thrift haul and the solds that I had for August. I was hoping to get some more videos between the last one that I posted and today. I was trying to get some more like shop with me videos done. I've only done one of those so far, so I was hoping to do that, but it didn't really pan out the way I wanted, so sorry for the wait, but this is a really exciting haul, and I'm going to go over everything with you as I do, talk about where I bought my items and how much I paid, and then how much I expect to get for them. And then if you stay tuned to the end of the video, you'll be able to see everything that I sold for August and the profit that I made off of those finds as well. It's pretty exciting because recently my husband informed me that this August was the highest profit margin that I've ever had. My previous highest month was around $650 or $680 or something like that, and this time it reached over 1,000, so that was great. I've only been doing this for a few years, so it's not like, you know, it's been building up for too long of a time, but I basically started in 2019, and as the years progress, I've been getting more and more serious into it and learning more things and kind of knowing, you know, what's good to buy. You know, still always learning and everything, of course, but I'm getting better and better at finding the good picks and knowing when it's too much to pay for something versus when it's worth it, and all of that. So that was definitely exciting news for me. He's the one who handles the financial piece of it all because I do not do math. So, yeah, so he told me that, and so that was pretty awesome. So, yeah, we're just going to go through everything. I visited some Goodwills a few times in August, and then I visited the church thrift that I go to that you hear me talk about a lot. And then I got some really nice pieces from a Buy Nothing group, and I plan to hold on to those for a while, so I'll talk about that. All in all, I spent a little bit over $100 this month, and so let's just go in order here. So we'll start with Goodwill. So the first thing that I saw was this really neat Native American Indian chief head thing here. And I got him for $4 at Goodwill. And I just love the detail on this. I know it's a little dark in here. It's late at night. We just got back from a baseball game. But I tried to put the lights on for you as much as I could so you could see everything. I think this is made of Sirocco wood, that pressed board wood that you'll see in some of the more vintage items. He was really dusty and dirty when I got him, but I just came home and wiped him down, and it came out really nice. I wasn't really sure what he was at first, but doing some quick research, I found out that he is a tie holder. So he was originally used to hang ties on, but, you know, you could put other things on there too, scarves or even jewelry, you know, whatever you feel like you'd want to do there. So yeah, I paid $4 for him, and I have him listed up on eBay for $25. He's missing one of the little hooks here. I don't know if you can see that right there, which I didn't notice when I purchased him. But he's still super cool, and he's not, like, none of the details on his face are broken or anything. So I just thought that was neat. The next thing was this set of salt and pepper shakers, and those were cool because they got brought out right before I was about to leave, and I recognized what they were, because this is a good brand to pick up if you ever see it, but it's these little ceramic salt and pepper, and they've got these like alternating floral designs there, and they're in brand new condition. They don't seem to be used at all, and they came with this little tray to hold them, and they were all tied together with a rubber band, and I could see the brand on the bottom there is Anthropologie. So yeah, it just depends on the item really, but most Anthropologie stuff is a good pickup if you find it, especially if it's in like brand new condition. So for those, I paid $4 for the entire set, so with the tray, and I have those listed for, I think, I want to say like $28, $25 or $28. So that was a nice pickup. The next thing was this lidded dish. I paid, I think, $4 for this one as well. And it's got some damage on the inside of it, but I thought it was worth it just because of the style and possibly the age. I haven't been able to confirm really how old this item is, but it's got this beautiful, what's known as a celadon glaze on it. And the detail on this lid is really what sold me. Just that kind of scalloping on the edge there, and then the top on the handle. That kind of triangular shape, swirled triangular shape. Anyway, it's got part of the rim on the lid there is chipped off, if you can see that. But it doesn't really mess with the functionality of the piece, you know. None of this was damaged. So I thought it was nice enough to pick up. And it's made from this company called Bon Celadon and handcrafted in Thailand. So yeah, I couldn't really tell the age of it. It's got some crazing, if you can see that. But I couldn't tell the age, but again, I just thought it was nice enough that somebody would enjoy that. You know, you could put it in your bathroom and put cotton balls in it, or really put it anywhere for decoration. So yeah, I got that. I paid $4 for that, and because of the damage, I think I have it listed up there for $10 or $12. But either way, it's nice. The next thing was also a last-minute find right before I was about to leave. And again, and sorry, I forgot to mention this at the beginning. This trip was at the very beginning of August. It was the 3rd of August, I believe. So yeah, this was another find. They originally, both pieces were separated, so I looked around to see if I could find its match, and I did, which was exciting. It's not too big of a deal, but I thought it was a nice pickup. It's this ceramic box with a butterfly on the lid. And I just really appreciated the artistry of that, how it's like a watercolor, and it's got that splatter design. So that was nice. And that didn't have any damage or anything like that. Just a plain little box. And I think it's marked on the bottom here, yeah, Dean Krauser, which these are on Amazon currently, and usually I try not to buy items that are currently for sale on, you know, the mass websites, just because it's like, why would they buy it from me versus Amazon, you know? But so, because of that, I priced mine a little bit cheaper. But if nobody buys it from me, I have a friend who loves butterflies, so I might just gift that to her. But yeah, both those pieces were separate, and I think I paid $1 each for both pieces. And so I listed that up online for I think, again, 10 to 12. The next thing I found was another box. This one I also paid $2 for. It's a little wonky because it's a hinged box and the lid doesn't quite want to sit flush on the top, but I just thought the details were nice enough. So this is the top of it. I don't know if you can see. I know it's dark in here, guys. Sorry about that. But so that's the top. Just beautiful, beautiful floral detail on that. And then the sides even have detail. And then it's got the plain bottom there. And then you open it up. And the hardware's still there, still works. It's just a little bit hard to close. And it doesn't really like to close all the way. But either way, thought that was nice. Paid $2 for that, and I believe I have that listed up for $12. So the next thing, this must just have been a day for boxes, because the next thing is a jewelry box. And there's something pretty cool about this one, and I'll talk about it in a second, but this is what I would refer to as a Golden Girls jewelry box. Just, the style of it just screamed Golden Girls to me. I can't remember exactly what this style is called, but it's like when it's got that material all throughout. There's a certain word for jewelry boxes like that, and I can't remember the term, but I'll put it up on the screen for you if I remember. But I really loved the shape of it and the style, and I love the little feet that it has on the bottom. And then inside is a little dirty, but I still thought it was cool. And the mirror's there, and it's not cracked or anything like that, so that was nice. But anyway, what was neat about it was, when I picked it up, it felt really heavy, and it was rubber banded together. I paid $3 for that, and then what was inside, I'll show you in a second. But the actual box I have listed up there for, oh, I think it's because of the fact that it was dirty inside, I actually put that up for auction, just at a cheaper price. So we'll see if somebody bids on it. So the more exciting thing about the jewelry box was after I opened it up, when I got home, I saw that it had all of these inside. So it had all of these different crystals and gems and rocks inside of it. And they're really cool. Let's see if I can get it to focus for you. Hello. So yeah, you've got this like greenish pink one. And you've got like this clearish kind of one. I'm still researching these because I'm not really sure. I don't know much about things like this. But they just had really interesting coloring to them. There we go. Oops. That one's got like little brown spots in it. Hello. Trying to get it to focus. This one's kind of cool because it reminded me of Tiger's Eye, but it's not quite what it is. It's like a pretty jade green color, like a dark jade. I've reached out to a couple of like crystal and gemstone groups to see if they can tell me what kind of stones these are. But anyway, the general consensus is, because what I have here, I guess they price these things based on weight. And so what I have here, I would say is about 8 ounces, 8 to 12 ounces in weight. This one's like a hanging crystal. It's a little broken on the end there, but still, it's like a quartz crystal. So yeah, I think they price them based on weight. And so it looks like a lot of people are selling mixes like this for that weight group for like $10. So no big deal, but still, having only paid $3 for all of these plus the jewelry box, I'll definitely make more money back than what I paid. So that's really cool. I don't know what that one is. It's like a deep black color. But yeah, you know, you could do any number of things with these. Make jewelry or just have them as part of your collection. So that was really neat. So this one's the last one. So yeah, that was just really cool to find all of those in the jewelry box. I was surprised that Goodwill even allowed them to be sold together because, you know, you could definitely tell that the jewelry box had some weight to it. So that was cool. So, yeah, I'll probably just put that up for auction too on eBay, or just maybe a flat price of $10. So no big deal, but I just thought that was neat. Alright, so then on a separate Goodwill trip, I had gotten just a couple of things, including a steak knife set that I was gonna buy. I was gonna use for us for the house, but then I decided against it. But they were definitely like MCM, like mid-century old steak knives, just because of the style and everything. I could tell that they were older. So they were pretty neat, but I just decided we didn't need them or have space for them. So I just went ahead and sold those for what I paid, so no big deal. But then, in addition to that, I found a couple other things. So this first thing appears to be a hobbyist piece, meaning that somebody bought a plate or made a plate and then painted it themselves. It doesn't appear to be like studio made or anything like that. But it's just this little Christmas scene, which I thought was really sweet. It's got this Christmas tree on top of the fireplace. And you can see the little stockings hung there. And then what I thought was really cute was on the top you have the carrots for the reindeer. And then you have the milk and cookies on the other side for Santa Claus. And then the fire down the bottom. So I thought that was really sweet. And then it kind of looks like little snowflakes around the edge there. And yeah, it looks like it has a little signature on the back there that says Carol. So Carol made that. And so I only paid $2 for this. And I just thought that would look really sweet hung up on somebody's wall for Christmas time. And if nobody wants it, I liked it enough to where I wouldn't have a problem keeping it myself. So yeah, so I bought that for $2. And I believe, that's right, I haven't listed this yet because it's not quite time to list Christmas stuff for me. But when I do list it, I think I'm going to list it for $15 or $16. So no big deal, but I thought it was nice enough somebody would enjoy it. Okay, another few things I got there. First is this paperweight. It says Be Fearless. It's like a bar soap style paperweight. It didn't have any damage or anything like that. And I paid a couple of bucks for that. And what I really enjoyed about this piece was the girl on the front of it. And I like her dress, and her hat has what looks like a ship on top of it with a feather. And she just seems super cool. So she's no big deal, but I put her up for I think $12, but I thought somebody might like that as well. And then this next thing, I kind of had to hang around a little bit to find this because this was the second trip. It really wasn't producing a whole lot for me, and I was starting to get discouraged. But sometimes if you wait around long enough, they'll start stocking the shelves again, and then you'll be able to snatch up some of the cooler items. So that's what happened this time. So then the other thing that I was able to walk away with before I left that day was this bad boy. So this is an art glass fish. He's called a TV fish. I'm not sure why. And I haven't been able to narrow down like the age or the maker. But I've asked a lot of glass groups, and a lot of people are of the opinion that this was made in Thailand or someplace similar. And a lot of people were also saying they feel like it was probably made in the 60s or 70s. There was a lady on there who collects these, and she said it definitely appeared to be in the same like style and the same quality and everything like that. So it could be newer, but it also could be vintage. I'm not 100% sure. And so when I bought him, originally when I bought him, I paid $15 for him. And I didn't see or notice any damage when I bought him. But very, very recently, as I was touching it, I found out that he does have a divot in the glass here. I don't know if the camera is going to be able to show it. There it is right there. See under my fingernail, or on top of my fingernail? That right there, it's like you can put your fingernail in the glass. I don't know how that happened, but I definitely didn't do it, because when I went back to look at the pictures of him that I took, the mark was already there, so I just didn't see it when I purchased him, which is a shame. But so, originally I had him up for like $75, I think, on eBay. But because of the damage that's already there, I'm nervous to ship him because I don't want that crack or divot to get any bigger. So what I'm probably going to end up doing with him is giving him to my local consignment shop and just seeing if somebody will buy it locally. Otherwise, you know, he's nice to look at, so I wouldn't mind him being in my collection. He's very pretty. I love the coloring on him with the blue and green, and then you've got this lovely red stripe going all the way through. So he was cool nonetheless. Okay, just a couple more items from Goodwill to talk about. So the first one here is another personal find. It's just this little coffee pour-over coffee pot. It's not a vintage one, but the vintage ones do sell well. So if you find one, definitely make sure to pick that up. But this is newer. This is from a brand called Bodum. And I have a coffee press from them. And so I figured I'd pick up the pour-over. I'm getting more and more into different ways of making coffee and just kind of experimenting with that because I love coffee. And so I'm going to try this out soon. I paid $3 for that. So, and the newer ones, like I said, the newer ones aren't really going to sell a whole lot, but the vintage ones are desirable. So I'm going to clean that up and see how that turns out with my coffee. So there's that. And then the last two things, I'm a little salty about it because Goodwill did me dirty here. And I almost want to say they might have done me dirty on that fish too, because they might have, if I remember correctly, the price sticker for him was over that mark that I just showed you. But anyway, before that, this is the first time I've ever experienced this at Goodwill, so you can let me know if you've experienced this. But I bought these two vases. Let me get them front and center for you. Okay. So I bought these two vases, and they're right here with the floral design here. And they are absolutely stunning. And they had been there the previous time that I was at Goodwill, and I didn't pick them up just because at the time I guess I didn't feel like paying, because I think they were $4 a piece, and at the time I had already like reached my budget for that day or whatever, so I didn't want to pick them up. But they were still there when I went back again, and I was like, how has no one purchased these yet? They're gorgeous. And what these are cloisonne vases. So it's a style of vases and different things where, and I'm going to butcher this so bad, so I'll put a definition of cloisonne in here for you. But basically it's like a style of like enameling and cloisonne where you like lay it into the vase and then you like glaze it over and paint it over so that each individual piece stays in place. So what that means is this is not all one piece, you know, it's not like it's a vase and then they painted a flower on it, you know, it's all of these design elements themselves are individual pieces of enamel or whatever the material is. I guess the material itself is cloisonne. But anyway, and they lay it into there, and then they, and then they like glaze over it and like attach it to the metal that the vase is made of. So it's a very intricate and complicated process. And I just love the contrast of the floral design against the white. I thought it really came out nicely and just stands out beautifully. Now, certain cloisonne pieces don't sell too well, but the fact that they were both there, like the fact that I'm able to have them as a pair, is a rare thing. And also the other thing that drew my attention to them is the metal itself is very dark and discolored, which tells me that these are older, possibly antique. Now, I don't think that this is sterling. I think this is copper or something similar, but a lot of these you'll see online, the metal is very shiny and brand new looking and everything like that. With mine, it's very, very dark and oxidized. So that's why I was drawn to them. But, so anyway, the sad thing about it is I paid $4 a piece for them, whatever. I saw that this was there. Like, I knew that was a thing, and I also knew I could see that this was bent. And I didn't really think that that was that much of a big deal, especially given the age that I believe these pieces to be. So that was whatever. But the sad thing is that when I took them home, Goodwill had purposefully stuck one of the price stickers over a ginormous impact crack on the other one. So I'll show you that here. So you see all that damage? So they had literally slapped the sticker right here, and I saw like a couple of hairline fractures there, and I didn't think much of it. But then when I got it home and took the sticker off, I realized like how bad it was. And then not only that, when I peeled the sticker off, it actually removed some of the material, which is just a real shame. So I was pretty upset about that, but the thing is about these is that I am going to be holding on to them just because I think they're beautiful anyway. And, you know, obviously I wouldn't try to sell them this damaged because I wouldn't want them to get more damaged in transit. But so I took the pieces that fell off of it, which another piece just fell off. Hold on just a second. Okay, so yeah, the pieces that had fallen off, I just collected them in a little baggie here. And so I'm hoping to like reapply them to the vase. And then what I'm going to do, which is a very risky and iffy thing, but I've done a lot of research and I feel like maybe this will work for my situation, And I'm going to put a little disclaimer in here. I'm not recommending this to anybody. This is not something that I am like saying, oh yeah, go for it. Like, you really need to think about, you know, the piece that you have and the value that it is and the risk that you're willing to put into it. But anyway, what I'm planning to do is I found a bathtub repair kit on Amazon. And because of the fact that these are like white and the material is very similar to fiberglass bathtubs, what I'm going to do is try to reapply those pieces that fell off with like some super glue or whatever as like a temporary solution. And then once that's done, I'm going to use the bathtub repair kit to kind of gloss over the cracks, almost like you would when you fill in like, what do you call it? Like when you use spackle to like fix holes in drywall, kind of like that. Like I'm going to mix the solution until I have a match with the color, which they're pretty white, so I don't think I'm going to need to do much with that. But then I'm going to like lay it over the cracks and let it seal, and then like sand it very gently to see if I can get some of the shine back, and then see if that works. Just to kind of bring them back a little bit to some of their original beauty, and hope to preserve them so that they don't get damaged any further. So in a future episode, I'll probably try to film that for you, at least a little bit of the process, just to see how that comes out. It's worth it to me because, again, they're so stunning, and I feel like they're old enough and they have enough history that I want to rescue them, and I don't want them to get any further damage. And then as far as value goes, the value of these is all over the place. Again, I think it has a lot to do with age, size, etc. But a very similar pair of these is online right now for like $500. Are they going to get that much for them? I don't know. But they do seem to have value, you know, intrinsically, just because of what they are. And it does seem important to people that you have a mirror image pair. So that brings up the value a lot. So you can see on mine that they have the same image, but it's a mirror image. So they look like if they were facing each other, they would have the same reflection. You know what I mean? So people really seem to desire that. And again, like once they're cleaned up and everything and I fix them, I think they're just going to come out beautifully, or at least I hope so. So yeah, that'll be in a future episode. But so that's all for Goodwill, and now we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, so this is one of my more recent pickups. This just happened like a week ago or so. I was on my Buy Nothing group. I like to go on there occasionally to see if there's anything I need for the house or whatever. And the people in the group are super nice. And a lot of times, like, I'll have extra stuff lying around here that I don't really want to give to Goodwill, that I would rather just give to my local community. So it's just a great way to be able to help each other out that way. But occasionally, some super nice things will be on there, and I was fortunate enough to grab these. So what I have here are these two beautiful wine glasses. I'm going to move the fish a little bit out of the way here. Fishy, fishy. Ooh, that was scary. Okay. So these beautiful, beautiful cobalt wine glasses with this gold gilding and crystal stem. So this lady was just giving these away, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have these. And they have these beautiful 3D applied flowers with these leaves, and just like the detail in the gold is just gorgeous. So, so beautiful. And I love the blue. I love cobalt blue glass. And yeah, you've got the crystal stem and then the gold on the bottom. And I liked the shape of them, the size of them, everything. And they don't seem to have anything wrong with them at all. And so, yeah, so she selected me. And so I immediately took them home and put them in my cabinet. And I don't think I'm going to be using them. I'm just going to be admiring them. So, yeah, so this is another thing that's kind of all over the place when it comes to value. And I'm still learning about that. And I'm not really sure what makes for a more expensive piece of glass like this versus a cheaper piece. But anyway, I talked to one of my glass groups, and so they were saying, you know, a lot of different areas of the world make things like this similar style and everything. So some of that can depend on the area that they came out of, the quality of the gilding, or if the gilding has started to wear away, that can affect value, which it seems like mine is pretty solid. I don't see any areas of the gold that have really worn. And then another person was pointing out, like, depending on the style of these flowers, you can usually tell where they were made. And so based on the style of these, and the fact of, like, what the lady was calling them when she gave them to me, she said that they were Czechoslovakian. And then I was researching it, and it does appear that they're Czech glass. And so that appears to have more value versus, you know, something like this that comes out of China or Japan. Some people mistakenly call these Murano, and I'm sure there are some that come out of Italy or Murano specifically, but I don't think that's what these are. But so yeah, just depending on all of that, that's what kind of makes the values go crazy. So, yeah, you'll find very similar glasses like this that are like, you know, $20 and $30 and $40 a piece, up to the higher range where, like, one glass, you know, somebody's asking like $300 for it, you know? So I guess it just depends. But again, I didn't really pick these up for monetary value because I'm not really looking to resell them. I just appreciate Czech glass and Bohemian glass, and so they are going to be in my cabinet to admire. The closest pair that I could find that look pretty close to mine is a pair on Etsy right now, and I think she is literally asking $300 for one glass, which is kind of crazy. So I don't know if she'll get that, but yeah, I just thought those were really cool, and I was happy to be picked. Okay, so then the next bit of things here is going to be from the church thrift store that I visited in Edgewater. I took 2 or 3 trips there, I believe, in August. And so with that place, as I've talked about before, I spend significantly less money there for what I get, just because their prices are so reasonable compared to Goodwill. And I really just appreciate them, and I like to buy their stuff because it goes towards supporting their church and the community things that they participate in and everything like that. So it's you know, kind of a more charitable organization to thrift at. So yeah, so this all culminated from a few trips there, because usually when I go, I only spend about $10 or even less than that, just because it depends on what I can find, and they're significantly smaller than like a Goodwill or something like that. And a lot of their inventory is clothing, but they do have a wall of hard goods, which in my shop with me video, you can see that there's just like one wall of hard goods, and it's a very, very small place, so it's a little hard to film in. So yeah, so I got some things there, and so with every trip that I took, I want to say I spent around like $18 total for all of this, which is really great. So the first thing was this pepper mill, which is just gorgeous. Just this wood-turned pepper mill. Didn't really seem like anybody had really used it that much. And it's from this company, let's see if I can see it. WM Bounds Limited, made in the USA. So that's apparently a really good brand for these. So this whole trip that I'm showing you now culminated $10 total. So I paid less than $1 for this item. And I put that up there for I think $22 or $25 just for the pepper mill. Okay, yeah, so I averaged out everything that I purchased there, so it looks like each item I'm about to show you was an average of 71 cents. So that's not bad at all. So that was that. Another thing I found, which I'm probably going to be holding on to, is this. This is an Ellie Smith Stars and Bars Fairy Light top. I couldn't find the bottom there even after going a few times, so the bottom must have broken. But I already have a Stars and Bars fairy lamp that's complete, and it's in clear. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is probably switch out the top for fall and just put the amber top on there on the clear base, just to change it up a little bit. But if I was going to sell that, I could probably get, $15 just for that piece alone. So that was really neat to find that there as well. Another thing I got was this cool little, I guess it's like a salt cellar or something, but it's just this wooden container, and it comes with this spoon. And I like the shape and the size of the spoon. So yeah, you could put salt in it or whatever, and then it just sticks right back in there. So I thought that was neat. The next thing was culminated from a few of the trips, because I got one piece at one trip, and then the other two pieces at a second trip, and then on my last trip I found one of the pieces that was missing. So it's this little lot of cast iron things here that you see. So it's this little scale. So, and it says Williamsburg, Virginia, so I believe it's like a reproduction of an older piece, but that's the top. It says Williamsburg, Virginia. And then the bottom of it is hand painted. And it's got these little flowers, which I believe the 4 circles on it are supposed to have little weights that stay there, but they didn't have the little weights there when I purchased it. But so yeah, that stands like that, and then you put this there like that. And then the third trip, because after I took a picture of it with Google Lens, I realized that this weird silver plate dish thing that I saw there actually goes with it. So that sits on top of it like this. And then the other trip is where I got the other 2 pieces. So you have this little cauldron here, bucket thing, and it also says Williamsburg, Virginia on it. And then this little, they call it like an ash bucket. So, and that's also hand painted. It's got a little wire handle there. So yeah, and I put that up on eBay for about $30. Some people are listing it for hire, listing sets like this for hire, but I think 30 is a pretty reasonable price given what I paid for it. So that was cool. Sorry, I'm petting my dog. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. He's really been missing us today since we were at a baseball game. But another cool thing I saw was this little vintage frog, like handmade frog sun catcher. And he was pretty gross and dirty when I bought him, but I knew he would shine up. So he's really cool. He's still got the old string on him to hang him up in the window. So that was fun. I think I only put him up there for about $10 or $12. So that was neat. Another thing, which I found the pieces separately the first time I went, and I just found this little piece here with the roses, which I thought was really nice. And what it had on the when I saw what it had on the bottom of it, I recognized what it was. It's one of the potpourri toppers for the old potpourri containers that you find. And so this is brass. And so then the next time I went, I found this little container, and that's the typical thinness of the potpourri containers that you find, and it looked like the width that I needed. And sure enough, when I brought it home, that fits perfectly on it. So there you go. And you just put your little potpourri or your scent things in there. So that was cool. The next thing was this handmade, hand-thrown pottery piece. It's got this pretty blue flower inside. It's got some kind of a marking on the bottom, but I don't necessarily know that that's a signature. But anyway, it's got these four like little divots in the side there, and it's a spoon rest. So I thought that was nice. I put that up there for about $12. Another cool thing that I got there was this, which it was a miracle that it wasn't broken or chipped or anything. But fall is definitely coming and Thanksgiving is coming up, so when I purchased this, I really had no idea what it was, but I liked the quality of it. And I took it home and I did some research, and I found out that it is a candle clutcher from Gans. And Gans doesn't typically bring a lot of money, but they have some nice things. And I just didn't want to leave this behind. And I didn't want it to get broken. So it's got all these beautiful fruits and the cornucopia with the flower. And then I brought out a Yankee candle. Let me move this. I brought out a Yankee candle to see if it would fit, and sure enough it does. So you just open up your whatever candle you want to have it on, and then it literally grabs onto the top of it, and you can display it like that. So I have a cranberry candle, so I thought that would be perfect. If nobody buys it, I'll just display it for fall and Thanksgiving. But I think I have that up there for $20, because that's a piece you don't see a lot. So that was cool. Another thing I got there was this cast iron mermaid bottle opener. I don't think she's old. I think she's just made to look old. But she was still a neat piece. And I think I only stuck her up there for like $10 or $11. The next thing I got, again, this was something that I found the first piece the first trip, and then the second piece on the second trip. So the first time I went, I just found this. And I just thought, oh, that's a cool, like, magnifier kind of thing. And it reminds me of, you know what I mean, like the porthole, you know what I mean? The porthole on the ship or the submarine. So I kind of thought that was neat, the way that was designed. And I could tell it was brass. So I bought that. But then when I went the next time, I saw this, and I realized that they actually go together. So this is a Military Officers Association of America life member paperweight slash magnifier. So you put the top of it on, and then you have both pieces there. So that's kind of neat. And still has the little sticker on the bottom that says brass. So I think I put that up there for about $22 or $24. Next, there was a bag with some candle holders in it, and I recognized that they were pewter. Pewter is not a great seller, but it can depend on the maker and the age of the pieces, if you can find out what those are. But I just thought they were nice, and you know, candles, decorating with candles and older candlesticks is definitely becoming more and more of an in thing again. So I thought somebody might like those. And I like the shape of the base. It's kind of like an octagon. So those were cool. Next were these little napkin holders. And they're made of ceramic. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's a cat. It's a black cat with a little face, and he's arching his back. So I thought those would be perfect for Halloween. There was only a set of 3 there, unfortunately, so I have an uneven set here. But somebody will think those are cool, for sure. And then I saw this there as well. It's a hand-painted wall hanging of an owl, painted by Carolyn, and it's lined with this blue velvet material, definitely vintage, and then it's got a couple of ways to hang it up. So that was awesome. I put him up for, I think, $12 or $14, so he was cool. Another thing I got there was this candle holder that looks like a sun. I'm personally not crazy about the design of this, but I know somebody will appreciate it. People like that kind of industrial or brutalist style where it's like, you know, the metal and like the contrast of metal against wood and things like that. People like that. So, and it's got this red stone in the middle, so when you put the candle in, it'll shine red. So, I thought somebody might like that. This I picked up. I didn't realize it was damaged when I bought it, but I still think it's nice. And I thought it was a picture frame, but it actually used to hold a little clock. But I think it's still nice enough to where if I find a little picture, I might just cut it out into a circle and glue it in there. But he does have a little bit of a damage on the back here. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Oh yeah, like on the leaf here. Let me see if I can show you. On the edge of the leaf, it's like sharp and broken. And then, like on the edge of the wing, I think, too, of the bird is a little chipped up. So, oh yeah, he's like cracked. You can definitely see. So yeah, I'm not going to be selling that one, so I'll probably just have that in my room for decoration. But still thought that was nice. I also found this little angel, bisque porcelain angel. He's a wall pocket vase. So, and he's definitely used. He's definitely got some age for sure. But there were no chips or cracks on him at all. And I just like the detail on that. And people collect angels and cherub kind of things still. So I think I put him up there for about $15 or $20. Next, they had a bag of these. And they usually come in a box, so it was a shame they didn't have their box, but they were still nice enough to pick up, especially for the price of 71 cents. But I recognize what these were. These are from a company called Pimpernel, and it's an English company that make really nice, high quality coasters and placemats and things. So depending on the design, you can get pretty decent profit for these kind of things. So they all have their little stickers on the back still, and they're just of different English country gardens. And they're just beautiful. Really, really nice pictures there. But because I didn't have the box, I think I just stuck them up for $10 or $12 or something like that. But I'm sure somebody will still appreciate them, especially when springtime rolls around again. I'm sure somebody will want that on their table. Okay, a few other things that I forgot to mention that I got at Goodwill. First was this guy. He is big and he is heavy, and I only paid $4 for him. He is an Enesco spongeware cat, and he is solid. He is like stoneware. I think you could, I mean, he's heavy enough you could probably even use him as a doorstop, but he's just super cool. I couldn't leave him behind. He didn't have any damage or anything. And yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot of value, but again, I like this style, and I'm sure somebody will appreciate him. So there's that. So the first was this little picture frame, and it's got this little violin and sheet music on it with, it looks like a clarinet, and the 3 little windows there for a picture. I just really love the quality of this and the shape and the subject matter because I'm a big music person, and I was surprised it didn't have any damage. It doesn't sell for a whole lot, but I'm sure somebody will like that. Paid $4 for that. And then this one I think I paid $4 or $6. But this is a handmade frame made in India. And it's just gorgeous. It's got all these little like jewels inside. And it's made with like this glittery turquoise color in the background. And then it's got the metal detailing on the outer edge and inner edges. The corners are a little bit worn on some spots, but that's really the only issues. I just think that would look really, really nice in a girl's room. And it's a good size. So, yeah, and it's still got the Made in India sticker there. So that was cool. Okay, so back to Joy Thrift. I also bought the box right there that says Lighted Bat on it. I paid 50 cents for that. It was in their holiday room. They have like a separate room for holiday decorations and things. And I saw that resting up against a wall. And I was super excited because it was only 50 cents. And I'm like, you know, I'm going to take a chance on this and take it home and plug it in and see if it works. And sure enough, it does. So, let me move this book out of the way real quick so you can see. So it's just this purple plastic bat. I don't know if you can see that. And then he's got green eyes. So he's super cool because, and really exciting because I'm like into bats this year for Halloween. Like bats is going to be the theme this year. So that was awesome. And, you know, 50 cents, I mean, you can't pass that up. So then we also went to one of my favorite bookstores. It is called Wonder Book and Video in Frederick, Maryland. We just did that this past weekend. And I don't know how to really explain this place to you guys, but it's like when you walk in there and you're like in the middle of the bookshelves, like you feel like you're in a movie. It's just literally floor to ceiling bookshelves filled to the brim with books. Books are just falling everywhere. They have such a selection. It's amazing. They have books anywhere from like brand new books to antique books to signed books to whatever. And then on the other side of the store you have other types of media, physical media. So you have DVDs, CDs, records, whatever. I mean, it's just a really awesome place. And so I picked this up there because I am all about reference books. I'm all about continuing to learn and things. And what really attracted me to this book is that it was in full color. It says it's got 424 plates in full color, so 424 images of all different types of glass, late 19th and early 20th century, basically. So, but, yeah, so it's called Art Glass Nouveau by Ray and Lee Grover. And they didn't really even advertise this, but when I got it home and opened it up, I found out that the people who made the book actually signed it. So that's really cool. Let me see if I can find some nice pictures in here for you guys. So look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And then, let's see, what else? Yeah, just so many beautiful pieces. This is like a whole section of like Tiffany glass. I mean, it has everything in here that you could possibly want. So really, I mean, if I'm never able to like buy any of these pieces or come across them, I have them all right here in this book. So that's awesome. So I paid $20 for that, and it was worth it to me. And then my last little bit here is from the Consignment shop in Deal that I love to shop at, and that's called Second Wind Consignments. I bought a couple of pieces there for a friend. She was a harpist at one point in her life, and so she was telling me how she still collects like little harps and things. So I got her a couple pieces there that were harp themed. But then they were also having a nice sale, and I picked up some sale items there. So the first was this little glass frog paperweight. Isn't he just super cute? I only paid like $10 and some change for him. I couldn't leave him there. I love frogs. I just love glass animals in general. I think they're super fun just to have on a shelf and hang out with you on your bookshelf. Super fun. So $10 for him. And then they also had this little tiny ashtray there, and it was part of their sale, and that was only a couple of dollars. Which, I don't smoke, but I mean, I could find other uses for that. You could just put your rings in it, or use it as a spoon rest or something like that. So that was cool. And then another thing I got there, I've always like oddly wanted one of these, but I never have had one. But it's a box that looks like books. So it's got these two books that look like they're stacked on top of each other, and then you open it up like a little secret compartment. I don't know, I've always wanted one of those. I thought those were cool. You could just like stick it up on your shelf and nobody knows, and you can have your secret things in there. And I only paid like $7 for that. And then the coolest thing that I bought there, which I'm so surprised this was still there, because this was part of their sale too, and it was 75% off. Look at that guy. That is a heavy glass, like solid piece of glass, and that's a love seat bookend. And they had two of them, but they were in different colors. So the other one was blue, which I normally lean to that color, but stylistically and where my books are, it doesn't really go with my bookshelf, so I picked the amber one. But the lady that was checking me out loved it so much that she went and grabbed the other one off the shelf for herself, because she was shocked too. She said she thought that they were going to sell the first day that they were there, but then nobody wanted them, so that was surprising. I don't know the maker of that, but it was definitely worth $7 to me for sure. And then I also got this set of spoons. They are brass, and they are made in Italy. And I think it's a set of 8 of them. And they've got these little figural things on top of each one. So you have, I don't even know what they are, like representations of different animals or whatever. You have like a monkey with wings, and then you have a lion, and then like a genie lamp thing with a flower, a goat, like a fleur-de-lis pattern kind of thing. Some kind of a dog or hyena. An angel. And then a horse. And I believe I only paid $7 or $8 for those as well, for the whole set. And they can go for pretty good money. But I really mainly bought them for me to have something fancy to stir my tea and my coffee with, because I like little fancy spoons. But you can see it says Italy on there. So that was cool. And then I also have this. I had bought this for my husband years back. It's a original 1996 Goosebumps lunchbox. I bought that for him when he worked at the library. I thought that was super cool. I was like, you're going to be the coolest kid in the lunchroom with your lunchbox, right? And it comes with the original thermos, too. So you got the plastic thermos. So other people have these online, and they're claiming that they're brand new, or they're new old stock, meaning they were never used, and they have them listed up there for like $100. This one obviously was used, but because we're in the holiday season and we're getting close to Halloween, I figure I could probably still get about $50 or $60 for that. So I put that up on eBay, and we'll see how that does. And then the last thing I wanted to show you was one of the most exciting finds this month, but also a little sad. This was also something that I found at the church thrift store. It's a flag paperweight. It's a crystal flag paperweight. Gorgeous. And originally when I picked it up, I was like, oh, that's it's a glass flag. And then I just kind of like threw it in there and whatever, I bought it and then came home and all that. But then when I looked closer at it, I realized that it was signed. I'm going to try to find the signature for you here and see if my camera will cooperate. So, let's see. Right above my finger is a signature. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Come on. It's very, very tiny. Anyway, I promise you it's there. But this is Steuben, which is a very high-end brand of crystal and glass. They just do beautiful work. And I could not believe that I found this at the church thrift store. And again, with everything that I bought, I paid 71 cents for this thing, okay? Now, brand new on the Steuben website, you can get this for the low, low price of $750. Okay? Other people that have these are listing them for $250 to $300 just for this. However, when I got it home, I realized, and I don't think I caused this, okay, but it's got a little chip here in the corner. I don't even know that the camera's going to show this to you because it's so tiny. Okay, you see that? See how the light hits it and it kind of looks like a teardrop shape? Yeah. So that was in there, so that was kind of a bummer. But it really, like, it's hard to see. You can't even barely see it when you're looking at the edge. And you can't even really see it when you're looking at it from the front. You know? But because of that, I went ahead and put mine up for like $120 or $130. And I don't even know that I'm going to be able to get that out of it. But, oh, there, you can see the signature, like, really clearly when I hold it like that, right? You see that, how it says Steuben? Anyway, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I get any takers. And if not, I was just super excited to find another piece of Steuben. I've only had, like, 1 or 2 other pieces. And I paid up a little bit for them through, like estate sale auctions. But paying 71 cents for that thing, I mean, that was an awesome, awesome find. Whew. Alright, guys. That is it for my haul. There's a few other items that I'm going to pop in at the end here just for image-wise so you can see. Just some other things that I found during this haul that have already sold and shipped. So that's why they weren't in this video for you to see firsthand. But I'll put them in at the end so you can see them anyway and see what they sold for. And yeah, so stay tuned for that and stay tuned for all of my solds in August so that you can see the breakdown of how much I spent this month versus how much I was able to pull in for everything and what specifically sold. So thanks so much again for watching, and again, I'm really going to try to get these shop with me videos up and running. I'm still learning a lot about that and just trying to get that together for you and figure out the best way to film without it being a pain. So yeah, I just really appreciate your support. I know this channel is still fairly new, so if you have just tuned in for the first time, thank you so much. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and then just continue watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.